You're locked in now. Welcome to Bringing the Wood.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, beautiful people, wherever you at in the world right now. You know you are listening to your favorite podcast. This is a Bringing the Wood production. This is the Bringing the Wood podcast, and I'm your host with the most, your boy DWood, up to some real good. Man, hope everybody day been going well. Got to start off with that. I hope y'all had a wonderful weekend. It's been popping, should say the very, very least. Especially when it comes to this football talk. Man, we got a jam-packed day today. Jam-packed. Potentially could have two guests on. Yeah, man, we're going to talk all that good stuff. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, get straight to it. Off-season updates. Obviously, free agency has been everything we expected and some. I hope your team has been doing something. Hope your team has made some noise, made some impact. As the free agency has been good to me and the Titans. You know, don't guarantee wins, but hey, it shows us that we are trying to win, and that's the start. But I'm gonna go over a couple trade updates that happened. Minka Fitzpatrick was traded from the Miami Dolphins to the New York Jets for a 2026 seventh round pick. Also received a 3-year, $40 million extension when he got there. Taking Minka over there to the Jets, helping out that defense. Aaron Glenn made a lot of moves, especially during trading and in the free agency. And obviously, when that time comes, we'll do that and handle that. That'll be next week. We can breaking down the entire NFC and AFC East next week. So make sure y'all tune in to next week's podcast too. But again, also another big trade that happened in regards to Alec Pierce getting signed to his big deal from the coach. The coach ended up having to get rid of their other star receiver, Michael Pitman Jr., but he ended up trading away to the Steelers in a pick swap for mid-round picks. So that's a good pickup. And then they also gave him a 3-year, $59 million extension. So now you got DK and Michael Pittman Jr. I like that. That's a nice little combination. You still got Pat Freiermuth, who's a really good quarterback. Jalen Warren in the backfield's a good running back. So I think they got a nice little combination there. You still got Calvin Austin, who plays well out the slot. Obviously, you're trying to figure out who's going to throw on the ball. They invested in the line, signed a couple linemen on top of the guys they already had. Drafted well on the trenches too. So I like that one. That was a sneaky good one. I wasn't expecting Michael Pittman to get traded. But when you turn around and make one of your receivers the highest paid receiver ever, I think you kind of know where the writing's on the wall for you. So once Alec Pierce became the highest paid receiver, you could kind of see the writing on the wall that it was going to be time for Pittman Jr. to go and make his own way and find another place. And I think he landed in a good spot, a good team. Again, quarterback situation is what it is. But Michael Pittman to the Pittsburgh Steelers is a sneaky good trade. Another trade that I like. Initially, remember I said Teron Johnson was going to be cut by the Bills barn if he was able to get traded. He was initially going to be cut. Even the post even came out that he was being released. But again, the official league year don't start till the 11th. So even if you say you're going to cut somebody, and if a team call you and say, hey, don't cut that dude, we'll take him off of you. And that makes it work. And the Raiders were able to swoop in there and get an all-pro corner in Teron Johnson out of Buffalo. He's been one of the better nickel corners in the league of the last 2-3 years. Obviously, the Bills secondary was bad last year as a unit, but I think that had more to do with the entire defense than just one or two players on the team. So I think he's going to be a good pickup over there for them. And again, they sent the 2026 7th-round pick along with Johnson to get a 2026 6th-round pick from the Raiders. So I think that was a good pickup for both. Those are some of the trades that happened. A couple of those moves, obviously, we talked about some of the other trades already that happened. Maxx Crosby and all those good things. We talked about them on Sunday. But, again, those are the kind of the moves that are up to date. Obviously, some big free agent signings. You know, we're going to talk about Tua. That's one of the big dominoes. He was able to sign a 1-year deal with Atlanta. I figured that could have been one of the teams that he was going to get to. I knew he was going to go somewhere where he was either going to be a backup and wait for the starter to get hurt, or you go somewhere like Atlanta where the starter's already hurt, and then you get a chance to try to, make your case. 2 left-handed quarterbacks. It only makes sense to go there. Again, I forgot the new GM name, but he just got signed with Matt Ryan when Matt Ryan became director of player personnel. And they're not tied to Michael Penix. They didn't draft him. So As much as they took him with a high pick, we weren't the guys that took him. So our leash is gonna be a lot shorter on him. So when he comes back, he's gonna have to come back and hit the ground hard, or he could potentially lose his job to Tua. Again, we got two injury history guys finna battle for one job. And Kirk Cousins technically still in the building, who's going to be cut before the new league year of the 11th, which is the new league year is officially March 11th. That's when all of these signings that are happening in this free agency, that's when they all become official. Is on the 11th. So they don't have to They don't have to cut Kirk Cousins still then. Same thing with Kyler Murray. So they're still going to wait around. I hope they can get a trade for these guys, so you don't just have to cut them. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen per se. So I do think they're going to have to let those guys walk, and they're going to have great markets. Like I said, Kyler Murray will have a great market, and I think Kirk Cousins will have a market as well, especially as a good veteran backup quarterback. Still got a lot of teams, still got some quarterback needy roles. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a good backup or a starter as well. So Tua to Atlanta, I thought that was one of the ones that kind of stood out as well. So that was fun. I think they're gonna definitely. I'm not gonna jump the gun. I'm not gonna jump the gun on Atlanta. But again, it's a decent problem to have. You got two quarterbacks. You hope one of these guys takes off, and you don't got to be drafting another quarterback in next year or the year after next. Even though next year is a rumor, it's gonna be a really good draft. But I feel like they say that about all the drafts, and then they end up being one or two good quarterbacks in the draft. So that's my personal take on the draft and how the quarterback market works. It just depends on who they want to be good. But then you also got the Niners, who haven't traded but are listening to trade offers for Trent Williams because they've been trying to get Trent to restructure his contract. And when you're 38 years old and you only got about a good year or two left in you, y'all gonna either give me this money or trade me to somebody who gonna pay me this money. But y'all gave me this money, so I'm a keep it. I love how teams do that and try to restructure deals after you paid him. You gave him this money. You gave it to him. And now you're saying, hey man, let's restructure it. We need some more bread. Hey, you better go figure out where you got it from, because I ain't got it. And Trent Richardson at 38 years old is still a top 5 to 10 tackle in this league. So he got the right to speak up and demand his money that he already got. So I do think that potentially the Niners could be making a move. Again, it's not set in stone. He could eventually restructure a deal and it could be fine. But the Niners are definitely fielding calls for Trent Williams. Another guy that could potentially be shopped, but nobody said anything about Alvin Kamara. He took a pay cut and restructured his deal, but then they go out there and sign Travis Etienne. But man, when Kamara came in, it was a two-back thing. It was him and Mark Ingram when he first got here. So I'm not gonna jump the gun and say that they're gonna trade Kamara, but I do think Kamara and Etienne are kind of the same player. But but New Orleans has always been a two-back tandem. But again, these running backs kind of do the same thing, so that's kind of something that we'll have to see. It's kind of something we'll see as we get closer and closer. Draft, end of the free agency. You'll kind of see if these guys get moved. But those are some dudes that could potentially be moved. Obviously, AJ Brown is still could potentially be moved. And he's came out and said the 4 teams that he would like. I want to say it was Baltimore, Buffalo, the Chargers, and the Patriots. And then I think I seen something that said the Chiefs were a dark horse team for him, which could make sense. So we'll see though. But I don't think, like I said, I think AJ Brown's going to probably be the last one to kind of be traded. Because again, I don't think Philly actually wants to trade him, but they like, if somebody gonna give us a first or a first and a second or like more than what we paid for him, then we'll give him up to you. But if we only gonna get back what we gave, we'll keep him. He'll just be disgruntled here and get 1,000 yards. And you know what I'm saying, almost double digit touchdowns. So I kind of think that's how the Eagles gonna play it. Like, if we can't get our worth, then we'll just move on accordingly. We got next. Who else we got? Next we got Oh yeah, that was all our trade talks. That was all the trade talks for all the people that could potentially be traded and the trades that did happen. I know I talked about Tua a little bit because, like I said, he was the hot domino to fall out of the first one of all of the quarterbacks that we're kind of expecting to get moved. Now it's time to talk about them big money free agent signings and head scratchers. Obviously, it was some money being spent around this piece. Free agency being lit. Again, like I said, everybody's teams have been getting involved in any way, shape, or form they can. And I ain't gonna lie, some of the I'm gonna talk about a couple free agent winners that I did like, that I will say did good. Uh I like Jalen Phillips to the Panthers. That's one that I like. I thought he got a good, I mean, he got a big bag, but they've been trying to replace Byron Burns since they left him, since they let him go. And now you get a guy who's gonna be a guaranteed rush edge. He's gonna be able to help create some pressure. To help out with that back end, because the Panthers back end wasn't that bad last year. The secondary was decent, led by JC Horn. Now you get an elite edge rusher right here. Um, Ooh, excuse me. Now you get, and then Derek Brown, Big D Brown comes back. Kind of missed all of last year. They started D tackle. Now, or no, that was the year before last. But now you got to add him with Brown. Now you got a little two-man game. They drafted the young cat from Auburn last year. So they got a couple bodies stacked up. But I was very, very excited uh for the Jalen Phillips thing. I think he's going to be a really good player. I thought Philly missed out, but technically they didn't miss out, bro. That man got a nice check from the Panthers. And that's kind of one of those things, man. When you spend that bread, it's not really much you can do. No matter how good of a team you are, no matter how much of a championship contender you are, man, some of these dudes play to get that bag, dog, and change their family history and change their generational wealth. So, as much as he probably wanted to win a Super Bowl with the Eagles and be on there, but man, when I can get a contract like that, I can't pass that up. And it just won't. I won't pass that up. Oh. And then another one that I liked doesn't count as a signing, but I liked it's an extension. And it was the Neil Hunter to the Texans. And no, I shouldn't be giving the Texans any love. But they were able to extend him a 1 year extension worth $40 million, and he's gonna basically get all that guaranteed. And that's because they know Will Anderson is due for a contract next year. He'll probably be the highest paid DN, if not very close. So with them being able to move, convert his money into some right now money, so they can have money in the future to pay their star edge rusher, I thought was a really good move, sneaky good move. A lot of people and teams didn't really probably even notice that happen, or even know that that's kind of why things like that do happen. And then another one that just happened right before I got on the air. Devin Lloyd to the Panthers as well was a good pickup. I was wondering what took him so long, but hey, he was trying to get his chips with dip. They still talking about the numbers, but I think he wanted his money, man. 3 year deal, 45 million. And that there's another player. Now you add an edge and you add a linebacker to go with the secondary. They're building at each level. You got JC Horn now as your corner. Now you add Lloyd as the tackle. You got Brown and Phillips. Now they got a couple core pieces at all three levels. Now you can kind of build out that defense and then continue to work on that offense to try to help them out to keep them in games. So those would be my big money spenders who it was worth the price of admission. But with all good things, there are some bad things. And we got some guys who got some deals that I didn't necessarily think they deserve. And we'll start with the guy who we already talked about a little bit, the highest paid receiver in the NFL, Alec Pierce. This is either going to be the greatest foresight in NFL history, or this is going to be the greatest blunder in NFL history. We're making Alec Pierce the highest paid receiver, and he obviously he led the league in yards per catch, with 22 yards per catch over 2 years. His first is both years. So I do think they think he might have another gear. And maybe they think he can be a true number one. Maybe he can be a true number one. I mean, obviously he was that at Cincinnati in college, but the league is a different animal. I think he might have had 1,000 yards one time. I don't have his stats right here in front of me. But again, this puts a lot of pressure on the Colts. You trade away your true number one. and you invest in a guy who you think can be a better number one. We seen Michael Pittman. He might have not been a top 10 number one, but he was a number one receiver that could win, you know what I'm saying, against double coverage, single coverage, ran all the routes. All that pressure goes on Alec Pierce. Alec Pierce got a lot of one-on-one coverage because of Michael Pittman Jr., because of Jonathan Taylor. Obviously, they still got Jonathan Taylor. They drafted the tight end out of Penn State, who was a dog. So they still got some talent there, but I don't know if Alec Pierce is going to be ready to get number one corner every week to now be the focal point of the passing game when teams are throwing the ball. And obviously, Tyler Warren, again, the tight end is going to be a part of that. But I think a lot of guys are going to just try to take away that deep ball and make teams dink and dunk and beat them. And I don't think they mind. They're going to definitely try to do that with Jonathan Taylor. But again, Shane Steichen come from that Eagle offense. So it's, again, heavy run, play action, take shots downfield. That's why they invested in Alec Pierce over Michael Pittman. So you kind of see those those things kind of coexist together like so. But that was one that I was really not feeling. And then another one, a lot of people might not even know this guy is I'm gonna pronounce his first name wrong, but last name Osai, the former DN from Cincinnati. He got a nice little bag from the Jets, 3 years, $36 million from the Jets. The Jets were big spenders in the free agency. They had the money too. And again, it's Aaron Glenn's second year, so you definitely want to put your fingerprints on this team now as it being your team. So I think he was overpaid, man. Obviously, they let go of Tremaine Johnson, so you got to get some edge rush help. They got Will McDonald coming back, who's solid. I think he had 10 sacks, maybe 10 and a half. But I want to say his first name is Isaac. Might be something like that. I don't got it right here in front of me. I'm always catting, but y'all know me. But again, I think he was overpaid. He was never a standout for the Bengals. Think about it. All we knew was Trey Hendrickson. All we knew. And then Geno Atkins. But like, we never heard about this dude. Just so I can give y'all a little context. Y'all remember when the Bengals lost to the Chiefs a few years ago in the playoffs, and that defensive end hit Mahomes late and got that rough in the passer out of bounds? And he was sitting on the sideline sad because they lost because of his penalty. If that's the guy I'm talking about. That's his claim to fame. It's roughing the passer on Patrick Mahomes, costing his team a playoff game. But again, those were some of the signings that I just really, really wasn't getting jiggy with, should I say. But again, hey man, I'm pretty sure some people think who my team signed and some other people signed wasn't so great as well. But again, we'll see as the time comes. Again, stuff look good on paper, but you still got to go out there and play the football games. Because you play games on the field, not on paper. Some of these teams already have 2 and 3 Super Bowls if they played on paper. You know what I'm saying? So, again, free agency been jumping. I'm excited about it. And now, let's take one step further. We're going to start into our division by division breakdown. And I told y'all we're going to start this week with AFC West. Why not? Raiders got the first pick in the draft. We're going to start not with the Raiders, but we're going to start down the line. And we'll start from top to bottom. First team we'll go with Denver Broncos. We'll talk about some of their offseason moves. You know, it ain't no fun if I don't screen share it for y'all. So let's make sure I got my screen up. Oh, now it's tripping. Okay. Give me 1 second. Players mess up. Charge it to the game. Yeah, I got it. There it go. Oh, yeah. There it go. Your boy working hard. Give me some slack. There it go. It's bulky, but don't trip. We're going to fix it. There it is there. And like I said, we're going to start with the Denver Broncos. Again, re-signing Sam Ehlinger. You always want to keep a good backup. Bringing back JK Dobbins on a 2-year deal worth $20 million. I thought was good. Again, you're gonna need a 2 running back tandem. I think they was interested in some other backs, but you can't go wrong with bringing a guy who played well for you. Obviously, he got hurt at the end of the year. That sucks. He's still been fighting injuries since Baltimore. But to see them invest in him and give him a deal was good. Again, re-signed Alex Singleton, re-signed Troutman, and then they did re-sign Justice Renard. Again, they kept a lot of stuff in-house. Again, they got a lot of money tied up anyway into a lot of their players. They did cut Dre Greenlaw because they needed to free up a little bit of money because you still got to get under You still got to be in the plus, even if it's just $100K. You got to be in the plus come March 11th. And they were one of the teams that was close to the negative, so you're gonna make some of those moves to clear it up. Again, they already got a really good team. We thinking if Bo Nix plays in the AFC Championship game, they're probably playing in the Super Bowl. So they don't need a lot. You just kind of want to keep everything in house. Like I said, you definitely want to bring in another running back or bring your running back back. I think that was a good look. I think they're going to look at tight end in the draft. I think that would be a good look too. To try to bring in bolster some more tight ends because I know he likes to use the tight end as well. David Njoku was out there as a free agent, still in the market. So maybe he picks up Njoku. Not truly sure though, but I definitely think that the Broncos are kind of just playing it safe. Like I said, they got a lot of people they're gonna have to pay in due time. Like I said, you got the quarterback you're gonna have to pay. They got a running back. They just paid the corner. So I think they're gonna kind of play it safe in that form. But so far they kind of been real flat. But again, like you said, when you make the AFC Championship game, you don't really got to do too much, but stay intact, stay safe, and make sure you don't blow your opportunities because they're a really good team. And again, like I said, if Bo Nix don't get hurt, these guys might be playing the Super Bowl. So we just truly don't know. So I kind of like them just playing it safe and not just going up and blowing it up and thinking they need to go out and get one of these big time names because they out there. And maybe throw off the flow of the team. Next up, the Los Angeles Chargers, ladies and gentlemen. LA Chargers, again, they cut so many players and made so many trades and restructured contracts that they was able to get out of cap, move up the cap, get some money, and be able to play around and bring in a couple players. Like it was kind of interesting to watch them boys work. But we'll check it out for sure. I'm going go ahead and pull it up for y'all right here. And again, Chargers offseason, they've been pretty aggressive. I like the Alec Engle. You know, the Harbaugh brothers love them a fullback. So getting Alec Engle is going to be a really good, hard nosed fullback, really good, strong, can catch the ball off the backfield. I thought that was a really good look. Charlie Kohler, ex Raven, only right you signed with your brother's team. I'm pretty sure a lot of the system and stuff is kind of the same, bro. They came under the same umbrella. I'm pretty sure a lot of it's the same. Charlie Kohler's been a third string tight end for the Ravens basically since he was drafted out of Iowa State about 5 years ago. But to see him get this deal, he'll have a chance to compete for the number 2 spot for the Chargers. So again, that's pretty good. Trevor Penning, I talked about him. He was gonna have a nice little market, but the Chargers ended up re-signing him and bringing him back. The big deal for the Chargers was Tyler Biatis, with the 3-year deal, $30 million. I thought this was a big deal. You got to protect your quarterback. They think Justin Herbert's a guy. I'm a fan of Justin Herbert. I think he has a chance to be a guy. So I think you want to invest. You got to get the center. They get both tackles back. They lost both their tackles last year, and both of them guys are top 5 picks. So you lose both your tackles. So it's time to reshuffle. You get both tackles back healthy. You bring your swing tackle back in Penning, who could play guard if they need to, because they did lose Zion Johnson in free agency as well. But you add Tyler Biatis. I thought that was a really good pickup. Tier Tart, former Titan, who was a dog for us. He was an undrafted free agent out of, I want to say, FIU or Florida Atlantic, dog. He was a baller for us. We didn't want to pay him. And he goes over here and gets paid. But I ain't hating. I like Tier Tart. He's a good player. And then again, Khalil Mack, 1 year, $18 million. Again, they're kind of being aggressive. They made a lot of money. But again, they're one of the teams shopping for AJ Brown. So that's why I don't think they're gonna, jump the gun and spend too much money because he might have to get AJ Brown and then pay him. You know what I'm saying? I think he only got like a year, maybe 2 left on his deal. So most of the time when you trade and get a guy, you give him an extension. So you don't know what that's gonna cost. So you kind of just wait it out and see how that works. But I like what the Chargers have done so far. I like Harbaugh, man. He's a good dude. He handles his business. But we'll see. We'll see how it works out. Again, still a lot of free agency left, still a lot of talent. And we'll talk over some of the talent at the end to see about the best available free agent, still a best available free agent still on the market as we continue. Because free agency has just begun. Again, we only in day 1 of the early tampering period. So again, all these signings, nobody can officially sign until March 11th. So that's when it's the time will be had. And we're moving right along. What they say in church, I ain't gonna be before you too long, baby. But next, we go to a team who's been super duper active, the Kansas City Chiefs, ladies and gentlemen. The Chiefs, they know they got a lot of work to do. They know potentially Patrick Mahomes won't be healthy by the time season starts. So it's only right that you go ahead, you get a running back. That's why they went out there, got Kenneth Walker, who I wanted. Man, but you signed him to a 3-year deal. I said he was going to get somewhere close to about 15 mil a year, anywhere between 15 and 18. That's right about what he got. It's a big pickup for the Kansas City Chiefs, dog. Kenneth Walker III, Super Bowl MVP. You can't forget that. You don't get that for nothing. I thought he was a really good runner. I think he kind of took a backseat to Charbonnet because Charbonnet is a little bit more of a physical runner, but we've seen him in the Super Bowl running hard as hell too. So I think it was more of a preference too. But again, now Charbonnet's coming off of an injury, and now you losing his back. But this is a win for Kansas City in so many more ways than one. Again, bro, your quarterback's gonna not be 100% when you get back. What better can you do to protect your quarterback than give him a running game? And arguably the best running back on the market. 28 million guaranteed. It's a good number. But again, this is a guy that they can give the ball to 18 times now. Now Mahomes ain't got to stand back there and throw the ball 35, 40 times, 45 times. I know we like to see Mahomes throw it around because of the amazing throws. But if you can throw it 30 to 35 times and hand the ball off to an all-pro running back, Pro Bowl running back, Super Bowl MVP running back, and he could take some of that pressure off of you, I think it's a tremendous good look. Like I said, I was hoping my Titans would have got him. We were in the mix for him. We were talking to his agent. We were definitely trying. But that is what it is. I'm not mad at that. Like I said, the rich get richer, but this was a big pickup for the Kansas City Chiefs. They truly needed a running back. They literally only have one running back on the roster, so we knew they were going to address it here, and they could still address the running back again in the free agents in the draft or another free agent. Don't forget they brought back Coach Eric Benemy. He was the running backs coach, run game coordinator, OC, all of those things, and their run game ain't been the same since he left. And I think Andy Reid's seen that, and that's why they brought him back. And he's gonna be here to do a good thing. They bring back Travis Kelce on a 1-year, $12 million deal. I think this might be the swan song. Maybe he does one more, depending on how this year goes. But he had a really good year last year, but the team success wasn't that good. So I definitely understood why you would want to run that back one more time to try to pair that team success with your success now. And now you go off and try to make one more Super Bowl run. Chris Tonga from the Patriots, it's a sneaky good pickup. I was saying they needed to pair somebody else next to Chris Jones that could help get some interior pressure. This is not a bad pickup for these guys at all. 3-year deal, 21 million, 14 million guaranteed. He's gonna have a chance to come in right away and be an instant impact player and play right next to Chris Jones and not get double teamed and get to play a lot of one-on-ones because you still got George Karlaftis on the edge as well. So he'll get a lot of one-on-ones. And he'll get a chance to make a lot of plays in that Kansas City defense. So it's a fun look for the Kansas City Chiefs, man. I wish my guest for the Kansas City Chiefs could have got on here, man. My little brother P, he was gonna bring the wood for all things Kansas City Chiefs. So, man, that kind of sucks. But I digress. I move on and stay strong. But again, last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, before we get to the Raiders, I want to bring on a guest who will be bringing the wood for all things Raiders. My boy Coach Z in the building. Coach Z, baby, welcome to the podcast. Baby, how you doing, sir?
What's up, y'all? Doing good. How are you, Coach?
Oh, man, I can't complain, man. Enjoying myself. The offseason has been good to my squad, and I know it's been good to you. That's why you are here, sir.
Sheesh. Man, it's been an eventful day for sure. I had all my notes ready to go, and they go spend more than half their cap space, and now with you.
now we're here.
Yeah.
But before we even get into all the new ones, we'll talk about the Maxx Crosby thing. I talked about it a little bit on Sunday. Talked about it with you a little bit too. I just want to get your thoughts on the Maxx Crosby deal, your personal feelings as a fan, and then your thoughts as an analyst.
So personally, for me, it's very reminiscent of the Khalil Mack trade, right?
Mm-hmm.
The only difference is, I think for me, is with Khalil, I think there's a little more invested with Khalil than as much as Maxx, because the way their play style is significantly different. Max or Khalil, game record, right? Maxx, not to that level, but he still had plays where he did that here and there.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All in all, it's an all-pro defensive end / outside linebacker, however you want to play him, getting rid of him. And essentially, like with them signing Linderbaum today, they essentially got 2 first-round picks plus Linderbaum for the exchange, if you really look at it that way. So
I like how you're thinking, sir.
It's a good thing and a bad thing, but how they've been active today, they've definitely made up for losing Maxx for sure.
Yeah, no, I know that. I know the Maxx thing hit hard. Like I said, I had a lot of guys. I was just like, man, what are we doing? And like you said, as a fan on the surface, it's like, man, this guy plays hard. This guy we want. But then as a fan, when you really sit down, it's like, man, he'd have just kind of been on the team, just with a fat contract, making plays, playing hard, showing up, first person at practice, last person to leave practice. With 4 wins, bro, like 4 wins, 3 wins, it's like, all right, we're going to let you go. It makes sense. I was nervous in that same sense about Jeffrey Simmons. That's why I ain't even bought a Jeffrey Simmons jersey, y'all. I've been so scared we're going to let him go because we ain't been good.
Man,
but he loved being a Titan, but shit, Maxx Crosby loved being a Raider, and here we are. So I've been so nervous to get a Jeffrey Simmons jersey for some of those reasons.
Buying jerseys, man. Every jersey I bought, the dude's gone in the next 2 years after I buy it. So
now I'm just buying memorabilia. Now I'm just gonna buy stuff that just got my Titans emblem on it. Now you're not gonna get me. I got a Derrick Henry jersey over there, sad. Dory Jackson jersey over there. I ain't even. Yeah, don't even trip. I know your pain, coach. I know your pain. Man. Hey, but as much as it's a pain, it's a pleasure today, man, because the boys did a thing today, and we're gonna bring that up. Not right now, or right now. We're gonna go ahead and go to the Raiders, man. They've had a day in free agency. And like you said, we'll start with the top guy, with Tyler Linderbaum. The floor is yours, man. Go ahead. You go ahead and break it down. These your guys.
So Linderbaum, right? Everybody's excited about this Linderbaum signing. But for me, I think the 2 biggest signings on this list right here are Nakobe Dean and Quay Walker.
Talk about it.
It's been, man, I don't even know if I could count how long it's been since the Raiders have had a legit linebacker. Linebacker. The last one we had might have been Rolando McClain. Before Rolando McClain, who also they have had nobody in the middle that had any type of presence. We brought in Corey Littleton off of his crazy season from LA.
Yes, yeah.
Or St. Louis, however you want to, And he came in absolutely washed. Did absolutely nothing.
Also
go get Derek Johnson from the Chiefs, thinking, hey, maybe division rival ex-player, come over here, some fire. Nothing. Navarro Bowman, he was cool for a little bit, One season, cool. Next season, gone.
Yeah, man.
So having that presence in the middle of the field with Nakobe, and then even the part for me with this Quay Walker deal is I feel like a lot of these people are thinking Quay's going to play in the middle. So depending on if they use him how they should and he comes off that outside linebacker spot, go look at his Georgia tape. That's what dude.
That's what got him drafted.
That's why he was drafted as high as he was.
And then the Packers moved him back. And like you said, now you get a middle linebacker to let him know, hey, you're not going to play middle. You're going to either play Sam or Will, a little bit off that. That way you can still rush off the edge as well sometime, blitz off the edge, go up against ends and guards. I was super excited with the Nakobe Dean, Quay Walker. And Quay Walker's got a lot to prove because of the down year he had. And then with Adrian Cooper coming there and just playing with his hair on fire, it was like, yeah, you're disposable, dog. So I'm excited to see that second stint. But yeah, the Raiders got a bunch of Raider guys, and it's weird how they just know how to find those type of players.
That Teron Johnson trade there, that one I think shocked everybody because there were reports coming out beforehand that Teron was saying if he was set to be released, he doesn't know if he's ever going to suit up for another team. He said if they don't bring him back, he was going to retire. A day later after I read that, we give up a 6th-round pick and we get him in the 7th back. Now we finally solidify a nickel spot since Nate Hobbs left. And even then, Nate Hobbs was cool, but I don't know if he's at the caliber that Teron Johnson is at.
Agreed. We can agree there. Eric Stokes, Hobbs was okay.
Oh, yeah, he was decent, but like goes to Green Bay, you haven't really heard his name as much.
Talk about it. You said it, not me.
So a lot of these people that get recognized, I feel like, just because they're on the Raiders, and for so long the Raiders have been a tragedy in the league of developing their own players, let alone keeping their own players that are decent.
Right.
And the fact that they're able to re-sign Stokes on a 3-year deal.
I like Stokes.
Coming in on his first year with Pete Carroll, granted his cover 3 scheme, right? Didn't work out as well, but he was the one bright spot on the defense.
True.
Not no lockdown, but he held his own.
He got speed, got a little height, so he's able to not just get beat easily. You got to settle sometime. But like you said, the Teron Johnson, that one's going to win. Kwity Paye is going to be a sneaky good one. I don't think he's going to come out here and get 14, 15 sacks, but 8, 9 sacks, maybe double-digit sacks for like 10. A lot of pressures. again, I love seeing guys leave out of my division and go other places. So thank y'all for signing Kwity Paye. Again, he's a physical dude. He's kind of short, but he's super stout at the line. He can play the run and the pass well, and I think those are some of the things you need.
He's a 3-4 guy.
Yes, sir. So
3-4 guy.
He can do both. Like you said, he can play stand-up linebacker in the 3-4, put his edge in the ground on a 4-3. He showed that versatility playing with the Colts in the 4-3. So I think Kwity Paye is going to be good. Jalen Nailor is the sneaky one. He showed a lot of promise in Minnesota when Addison had to sit down for those games, and then Nailor was out there as the 2. He showed some promise. He made some plays, and he even had that kind of like deep ball tracking ability at Michigan State when he was there. So to see him get here, kind of trying to figure out what his role is going to be, because I feel like y'all got a lot of those type of guys. Like y'all got Tucker still. I like Tucker. You got Thornton, who's kind of like a bigger version of that. And then you got Jack Besh, who's the wild card, who I think has to have a big year coming in next season, being a second, third round pick. I think he's going to need to step up.
I agree. So I feel like with Jalen Nailor, he's going to be more it's going to be tough because obviously we need a wide receiver 1, right?
Yes, sir.
Jalen Nailor is not a wide receiver 1. Trey Tucker, not a wide receiver 1. Betch can maybe be a 2. I don't see him being a 1 unless he has a huge leap.
Yeah.
The only other possibility they have to go get a wide receiver 1 is if in the first round they're fortunate enough to get Mekhi Lemon. Or if they can't get Mekhi Lemon, then they go get Jordan Tyson.
Yeah, and with pick 14, I think those guys are gonna have a chance to be available. I don't want to say Carnell Tate gonna be available because I don't think his 40 time was slow. But when everybody else runs 4.3 and 4.4, and then the best receiver in the draft runs 4.53, and everybody kind of squints their eyes and they're like, I don't know. If that man falls out the top 10, I could see y'all trading up to get him. If he falls to 8, 9, I can see y'all jumping up to try to get him.
I can see that same thing going around with if we were talking about that Ole Vega Ione, the lineman out of Penn State.
Oh, the guard out of Penn State.
Because even if they can build him into a tackle or see what they can do.
He's got the frame. He's got a frame. He's got a frame. He's a big man. And if you ever watched him play at Penn State, bro, they put him at tight end. They put him at fullback. They threw him some passes out there as a screen pass. Like, this kid's huge. He's athletic. So, yeah, that would be a good
31.5 inch vertical to 8 foot 8 inch broad jump. So, I mean,
come on now. Super athletic to be that big, dog.
Yeah, it's crazy to me. It's going to be fun.
No, the draft's going to be good. Like I said, you guys kicked ass in the free agency so far. Like I said, I'm not a dude who likes to pick day one winners. But ding, 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 ding. Like, you know what I'm saying? Day one winners, man. Like, I feel like it just came together, dog. And I like
in there 20 minutes ago, Matt Gay got signed too.
Come on now. I seen that. And I'm just like, bro, it's adding up. And again, you got a new coach, and he's putting his mark on the team. For sure. Getting his type of guys in there. Feel like, don't be surprised we see some more Seattle dudes start making their way down here. Tyreek Woolen is still a free agent, ladies and gentlemen.
He's on my board right here.
And I don't think they're going to pay him. They got to pay Devin Witherspoon, and he's eligible to do next season. I don't think they're going to pay him. They just paid Josh Jobe. So, like, it just kind of be like you read the writing on the wall. Where he goes, I don't know. He's going to have a market, though. Tall corner. So I definitely think he's going to have a market, but I'm excited to see. It's still a lot of talent left in the free agency. That was another thing we was going to talk about, is definitely some of the best of the rest of the available. Obviously, we got Kyler Murray, who probably will be considered the top available free agent left, depending on what you're looking at and who you want. But what are some guys you excited to think you guys still could go after that still here in the free agency?
Well, you said it. I think the biggest one for me is the one you just talked about, not getting paid from Seattle, is Tyreek Woolen. Because, I mean, you think about it, our cornerback room right now is Eric Stokes, cornerback 1. Number 2, they're going to have a lot of faith in Darian Porter.
Yeah.
I believe in Darian Porter a lot, but he didn't get a lot of time in his first year.
Yeah.
I think he played a total of collectively maybe 3 games. The last couple games, he finally got a little start time. Yeah, but then he'd only play maybe a half. He wouldn't play the full game. Bringing Teron in there is going to solidify the nickel, of course, but now we just got to be able to find our cornerback 1 or 2 with Tariq could be the one if we go after Tariq, right? I mean, it just if it's not them, at least go get another guard on the opposite side. You got Linderbaum, JPJ on the right side. You still need to find yourself a left guard.
I know, and I was looking at the list, and I was thinking, what about Elijah Vera Tucker?
And Suamalo.
I like Elijah Vera Tucker. He's got to stay healthy, but if he can stay healthy, he's a Pro Bowl caliber guard, man. He's physical, good hands, good feet, can run and pass block. I think if he would have got healthy, he probably got paid from the Jets. But I like him. You got Rasheed Walker to tackle out the Packers is still in there with some position versatility, flexible. Again, we talked about Tyreek Woolen. I like Leo Chanel as well. I think he's a good linebacker. I think the Chiefs want to bring him back, but I think he's got a decent market. And then 2 guys that I want to see where they go: Kayvon Chason and then Romeo Dobbs. I thought my Titans were going to go after him. We ended up getting Wan'Dale Robertson. I think I probably wanted Wan'Dale a little bit more for health reasons because of all the concussions that Dobbs be getting. So I think that was the safer pick. But, I do want to see 26 years old. I think he's going to get about 18 million, maybe 17 on the market. Jawan Jennings still a free agent as well as a guy that I'm excited to see. I'm a Jawan Jennings fan. That's my boy JJ. So any guys you would like to see out there?
Keep an eye on Trent Williams.
I was talking about that earlier, man. He don't want to restructure that deal.
Be careful with them Chiefs. Watch out for the Kansas City Chiefs. They're running around right now. It's being linked to the Chiefs a lot right now.
Bro, if the Chiefs get him boys a third, and like I said, bro, if you can get a 3rd round pick, hell, if you can get a fourth or better for a 38-year-old tackle, bro, you can't pass on that.
Absolutely not.
He got about 2 hot ones left in him.
Well, he regressed. I wouldn't say significantly, but he regressed this year.
Yeah, he still was one of the best, but he definitely took a step back. And it's if you can get a 4th, 3rd for this man, and you got to, you can't. I know he's a bona fide starter, but that's a guy. That's a guy. I wouldn't mind. Like I said, going to Kansas City, that would be too much like right, wouldn't it?
I mean, I'd be upset.
kick the rookie to right tackle, let Trent play left for another year or 2, then move the rookie right back over when he done. Like, hell yeah, you'll be hot as fish grease.
Oh, for sure. But I mean, at the end of the day, with everything that's been going on today, at least roster wise, I don't know if I would sit there and say the Raiders are now the worst team in the AFC West anymore. With the way the line's constructed, I'm not saying we're significantly better than any other team in there, but at least with the Chargers now, I don't think the Chargers are that much ahead of us anymore.
I feel that.
I think with everything we've done, our O-line is better than theirs.
Yeah.
They have Justin Herbert.
They got to fix both their guards. They're missing 2 guards right now, so yeah.
They have Justin Herbert, of course. Herbert's one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the league. Just obviously he struggles in the playoffs in certain situations, but this past year I don't think it was fully on him. Playing historically one of the greatest defenses to ever play the game, right? Come on now. And then it's just skill positions. Keenan Allen's gone.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't going to come back. And then what? They're going to rely on Quentin Johnson. That's
why I keep saying be on the lookout for AJ Brown. I think I think the Chargers are going to end up because I like Quentin Johnson, but and then he already came on, New England. I don't know, man. Like you said, not Kansas City, but LA. Like I like Harbaugh. I'm a Herbert fan, but I don't know. Is it like you said? It's just something still missing. It's something still missing to where I'm just still like, I'm not gonna say they're title contenders yet. So no, I like that. And then like you said, you got Mahomes gonna be down, man. So in the most respectful, and Bo Nix coming off a broken ankle. Like it sounds crazy, but we here. But
hey, I mean, being a Raider fan from the majority of my life, I know not to get too excited off people's names getting put on a piece of paper,
Hey, you got it right. Facts.
There's been many times that we sign decent draft classes or free agency classes, and we come back and we put up 4 or 5 wins.
Hey, we be the Super Bowl champs on paper,
man. I mean, it's great to see finally somebody come in the front office and actually utilize and go after good players, not players that are 29, 30, 31, 32 years old, hoping they're still in their prime and hoping for them to excel.
Facts.
Chandler Jones.
See, he on the
That's just the Raider way. The Raider way.
It's all good. We be hoping for greener pastures, man. It's been like you said, so far so good. The new regime, They've said the right things. So far, they're doing the right things. It looks like they're going to take Mendoza with pick 1. Looks like they're investing in their look like they're already trying to get some early return on their investment by going to go get an offensive line, bringing in a receiver, bringing in all these things to kind of just make it comfortable for them. And I think it's going to be a very scheme-friendly offense. Seeing the way Seattle was ran, I think it's going to be nice for him. Again, I think y'all going to still sign a veteran quarterback. I don't think you want to start him. But if he goes out there, and I don't really know who y'all would sign as a backup quarterback right now to compete, but I think it got to be somebody decent, because I do think he's not just trash to where if y'all don't get a decent backup that can challenge him, he'll beat him out and y'all will be starting in week 1. And I know a lot of people don't want to see that. Mm-hmm. Even Brady don't want to see that. You know, that Brady's motto is always like, let QB sit. So I feel like he's going to get somebody good enough to let him sit. Would you be interested in Joe Flacco?
Shit, that 40th wonder of the world that guy is, man.
Did he just make a football?
Play the way that he did, dude. It's you know, the backup quarterback market. You know, it's one of those situations that's a little hard to get into, because you think somebody's going to be there, and all of a sudden they get picked up like that right away for a backup. You know, and you're sitting there thinking, well, shoot, what's Kyler Murray going to do? Is Kyler going to actually get an opportunity to go be somewhere, or is he going to have to earn his role again? In a sense, if Kubiak was like, hey, let me reclamation project, because what if Fernando Mendoza say you don't work out for us at 1? Now we have a Mendoza versus Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is also a top 3 pick, right? Why not? He has the potential. He has the potential. He can do it. I mean, shoot, Arizona, that was his first or second year. They're one of the best teams in the league, and he was at QB throwing that thing.
You don't forget those moments.
So, like, he knows how to play ball.
For sure. No, that he can do. He can ball out for sure.
So I mean, if they can somehow find a way to even bring in, say, Kyler Murray, I won't be mad at it.
Understandable. Yeah, no, I definitely think they gotta bring in another quarterback. You need somebody to guide the rookie, show him how to be a professional. The ins and outs, the do's and don'ts of the league. I think those are little things that, you know, everybody need, man. You need a vet to kind of guide you in this league. The league is a tough place, dog. And if you ain't got a good support system on the field, off the field, you'll be in and out of this thing in no time, bro. This league chew people up and spit people out all the time. One and dones, one hit wonders, 2-year wonders, or whatever the case may be. I mean, then you got those late bloomers, those guys who put their head down and grind and get that opportunity and make the most of it. I do want to get your take on Malik Willis. How do you feel about Malik Willis to the Dolphins?
Man, that's I don't know. The fact that I think the biggest thing for me that kind of blows my mind is like the thing that went around Malik saying he wants like around $30 million, right? Miami goes and shits out $40 million for him. He ain't really shown a whole lot. He's had maybe a couple sample games again with Green Bay this past year. I mean, granted, it's against Baltimore, and he had a hell of a game, But Baltimore is also depleted. So it's how bad it was. There's pros and then there's cons, but it's like, do the pros really outweigh those cons to where you believe in Malik Willis that much to turn your franchise around? Because Tua wasn't as bad as people say he was. But what you surround your quarterback with is what you're going to get. That O-line was terrible. That dude's over there getting concussions and stuff because he's down there back there running for his life.
That's why when you got a quarterback that can run.
Yeah. Tyreek Hill's out all season. Pretty much all season. He played a couple games, right? Jalen Waddle, I don't know what happened with him, or if it's just Mike McDaniel couldn't figure out how to scheme things open anymore, or if it was a matter of the fact that Tua just gave up, or Tua just can't know anything anymore because of the head trauma that he has going on. You know, we'll find out with him going to Atlanta
for
if
sure.
He can battle the lefties with him and Penix. But I mean, I don't know, that Malik Willis thing to me. I mean, we'll see when the pads come on what happens. You know, I just hope they don't do the wrong thing.
For sure. Again, they brought in a lot of guys. They brought in some guys from the Packers. You know what I'm saying, to kind of, you know what I'm saying, bring that same system in. Obviously, Jeff Hafley, the DC over there, so he brings in a lot of guys. He brought the quarterback coach over. You know what I'm saying, to be the OC. So he brought some things over to try to kind of like, you know, make it easy, make the transition as easy. They do got some weapons over there. You got Devin A-Chain. Like you said, you got Waddle, who you just talked about. Like you said, got to rebuild the offensive line. I think that's where it starts. Just like you said, you got to protect the investment. Hell, you got to protect Devin A-Chain. He got hurt a couple times because he got caught in the backfield and got hurt and missed some games. So, yeah, no, definitely. I think it, though. I'm excited to see what he can do because of the little things that he did show. I want to see if somebody can take that and put it all together and kind of make something of that.
Now, the one thing I will say that blew my mind, that Minka got traded for a 7th-round pick.
Man, they treat Minka like he a redheaded stepchild, bro. Like this man ain't been Pro Bowl, all pro
in the league, and you're trading him for a 7th.
Bro, he didn't got passed around so many times. It don't make no sense. But like I said, the Jets made a lot of undercover moves. Like they brought back Demario Davis. I thought that was really, really sneaky good. I like Demario Davis, even though he old, but he old with a motor. So I thought that was really, really good. But yeah, I like what the Jets did. I like Aaron Glenn as a coach and as a person. He was decent in the league, so you root for people like that. But we'll see. He's got his work cut out for him. If they don't figure out the quarterback spot, he's gonna be fired in 2 years. So he's definitely gonna work on that. This league is a what have you done for me lately? And lately the Jets been stinking. So you got to fix that soon, or you're gonna be back DC in Denver. I mean in Detroit in no time. You know, Dan had you back with open arms.
Yeah, for sure, without a doubt.
Mm-hmm. Last thing before I get you up out of here, Coach. Draft is next month. With a couple of the guys that you focused that y'all signed already, who are some guys in the draft you think you guys got your eyes on?
Well, Makai Lemon for sure. Right? If Makai Lemon's able to drop to 14, I think for sure we take Makai. If we can get Jordan to fall, and then we have Makai and Jordan at 14, maybe we think about that. But to me, I think if Spencer Fano somehow drops to 14, I don't know if he'll get there. If he does get there,
I think he's going to. He had short arms.
See, and that's the same problem that they're sitting there with Ruben Bain.
Yep.
But yet these people weren't sitting there looking at film and realizing that arm stuff really don't mean nothing.
When you're good, you're good. And then, you know, Will Campbell kind of messes it up a little bit. But if you go watch Will Campbell film sometime, he was good in the league. And even in college, he had some moments where the short arms got him. But he wasn't just terrible. The line was terrible as a unit for the Patriots. And that's kind of fell apart. And they're going to have to redo that interior for sure.
I mean,
and then you just got rid of Bradbury.
Watch the Seattle game. They shut down the run game. They knew every play was almost going to be a pass. They just let the dogs loose. It's hard to stop the dog coming at you all the time like that. Yeah. I mean, but if Fano drops to you, dude, I don't know how you pass on a 6'5", 311-pound lineman who runs a 4.9. Not to mention he runs a 1.72 10-yard split, 32-inch vert, 9.3 broad, and a 7.343 cone with a 4.67 shuttle.
And then at the end of the combine, he did guard work and center work for coaches because they want to see if he could snap the football. So he stayed an extra 45 minutes, bro. Stayed an extra 45 minutes, real time. I went check. 45 minutes, they say he stayed after doing guard and tackle work to show coaches he's versatile. Because he just said he wanted to make it to the league. He don't got to be a tackle. I love it. How do you not draft a guy like that? How do you not draft a guy like that?
It's not hard to develop receivers in this league. You see a lot of receivers 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th rounds being something. You don't see a lot of linemen in the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round being something. If you can get Ione or Fano, you don't pass on that. Especially their metrics, the way their size and how they move, you do not pass on that.
Yeah.
You can get a franchise right tackle to move with JPJ, Linderbaum, and then your left guard if you get someone else at left guard.
Come on now.
How do you know? How do you know?
We cooking with grease.
Ashton Genty, watch out.
Nah, and I think, man, like you said, Brock Bowers still like it's all in place for y'all to, like you said, make a big jump. And like you said, we ain't saying go out there and make a Super Bowl run, but to be very competitive this year and win some games and look like a team that arrow's pointing up. I think that right now the signs are pointing that y'all look like y'all trying, and that kind of matters. Like I said, I like the coach. I can't knock Brady until. I ain't going to say Brady going to be Jordan until he showed me something. Jordan was a terrible owner, was a hell of a player and a terrible owner. Brady, you got time. You got time, Brady.
I will say I commend Brady for what he's doing because he owes us this. From 2002, that tuck rule, he owes us this. So if he can get us right and get us back to where we were before he screwed everything up for us, all's forgiven.
Well, I was just going to say, and the Raider Nation will turn around and be like, you know what? We're going to let that slide, bro. You came back and got it back for us on the back end, Brady. That's why you the GOAT, sir. That's why you the GOAT. Hey, Coach Z, let them know where they can catch you at, man. Give them anything you need before you get up out of here.
For sure. If you guys want to, follow me up on the gram, it's at Jared Zolan. It should be on the link down there. Same thing on, I think, Twitter or X, now that it's called, if y'all want to. Otherwise, you'll catch me around here whenever they need the Raiders report.
Oh yeah, he gonna start to be a regular because Raiders and Niners become regular as the season get going. Y'all know I talk regular Niners, Warriors, Kings, Titans, Brooklyn Nets. Those are gonna be our heavy hitters that we're gonna have in rotation, and we'll sprinkle in other guys as breaking news come along. So get used to seeing my boy Coach Z, man. He gonna be the voice of the Raiders for us.
Stockton too, if y'all in the area.
I ain't even been wearing my BC gear yet, but yeah, they gonna know. They gonna know when football season come around. I'm gonna be Bear Creeked up, man, brewing pride all day. Hey, I love you, Coach. Thanks for coming in, man. We're gonna talk to you again soon.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. And there it is, man. Hell of an episode. Was you pleased? Hey, and if you was, make sure you like, subscribe, share, tell a friend, tell a neighbor, hell, tell an enemy. That man DWood talking real good sports over there on the Bring the Wood podcast. Hey, this Thursday. Today's Tuesday. Thursday, we're doing the AFC West. Rams, Niners, who them other fools? Cardinals, Seahawks. Got my Niner beat writer already ready, bringing everything Niners. Think I got me one that's going to bring everything Rams, and he'll be a fun guest, too. If I can get him on, we're going to see. And if not, I'm going to hold it down for the teams like I do because I do what I do, and I do it for TV. Hey, love, peace, hair grease, love, live life in Tupac. You already know it's the Bring the Wood podcast. And y'all know damn well what I do on this podcast. I just brought the wood. Peace.
You've been locked into Bringing the Wood. No soft takes, no watered down debates. If it's in the game, we bring it head on. Until next time, stay locked in.